Welcome to this week's episode of the Pullist Examiner. This is my weekly video where I take a look at the top 3 comics that I am looking forward to reading on New Comic Book Day. And New Comic Book Day this week is going to be November 29th, 2023. There is only a handful of things on the list this week. I feel like this list is a little bit smaller because last week seemed to be a little bit bigger with a little more titles. But let's take a look at the top 3 comics for this week. Starting off with number 3 this week, we've got What's the Furthest Place from Here, issue number 16. I am actually a little bit surprised that this title has been around this long. I don't know if there are other people out there reading it because I haven't really seen this talked about much out in the comic book community, but it has been a very strange tale, and it leans heavily on the horror genre, but there's a lot of post-apocalyptic type atmosphere that the story revolves inside of. I don't know where this title will end up because it seems like the writers go from left to right and back and forth, and there really doesn't seem to be some kind of specific end goal. It seemed like they were going to kind of explain the situation of what was happening to these people where there's basically no more adults left, and eventually these people who were getting older inside of little subsections of the city were starting to venture out into other areas, and it seemed like they were going to finally start to answer questions, but I don't think they really have answered many questions yet. But it's still an intriguing story, very different, unique, and if you're looking for something that seems to be a little bit off the beaten path, then you should probably check out What's the Furthest Place from Here. And at number 2 this week, we've got Batman 89 Echoes, issue number 1. I don't know much about the series yet, just what's out there in the previews and some of the articles floating around online. But what I do know is the screenwriter for Batman 89 was asked to write this title, and I believe the previous title, the other Batman 89 title that came out. And I think what we're really getting is the sequels to those Tim Burton Batman films, the films that I grew up watching as a child, and we now get to see what could have been if they would have continued on with those same characters, same cast. And for example, Billy D. Williams came back in the last title as Two-Face. So what are we going to get in this yet another sequel? I don't know, but I'm intrigued enough to pick up the title and see where it goes. And I thought the last one was done very well. It introduced a new Robin, it introduced this new Two-Face. So what villain do we get this time? I guess we'll have to read and find out. And at number 1 this week, we've got Predator vs. Wolverine issue number 3. The first 2 issues have been a super fun read. Quite honestly, if you are a Wolverine fan, you need to check out this title. It has been a cool take on Wolverine and the fact that he is being hunted, but yet he is himself kind of that natural born hunter. It is a very interesting take, and Benjamin Percy is doing the writing, and I think he's doing a really good job on this series. Artwork's great, and this month's issue, you should check out the covers. There are some seriously cool covers that are coming out with this title. Maybe I'll throw a couple of them up. Whilce Porticio and some others are going to be lending their art style to the covers for this issue number 3. So it looks to be panning out to be a great series. If you're a Wolverine fan or a Predator fan, I would definitely say go check out this new Wolverine vs. Predator series. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Pullist Examiner. As always, you can find every comic I'm picking up from the local comic shop in the description of this video below. I'm going to be putting out my month-end review video soon, and I have a little surprise to add to that, which is I have crossed the boundary line of over 200 subscribers now. So thanks for my new subscribers who were kind of pushed over here from the Brian LCS channel. If you're not watching his channel, go check it out. He does a great job with his content, and I know he's a big Spidey fan, so if you're a comic fan, go check out his channel and see what he is publishing. So thanks for watching, and remember to read 'em, bag 'em, and board 'em. We'll see you next time on the Pullist Examiner.